Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stands before you with a topic known as meaning of budget and significance of budget. And this topic, meaning of budget and significance of budget, is observed in paper 9, which is public policy and administration in India of 4th semester. I request my viewers to watch this video attentively so your idea about meaning of budget and significance of budget will be clear. And I request my viewers that many students, basically of plus 2 and plus 3, they do not know about my channel. So if at least you will intimate the students about my channel, from where students will get a lot of help. And if a help will be given to anybody, help will come in return by God. Let us start. What is a budget? This video concentrates with two aspects of budget. One is the meaning of budget, other one is the significance of budget. So what is a budget? In the financial administration, budget is a key concept. Budget is so much important that the entire financial administration revolves around the budget. And budget is considered as a mean to accelerate the process of socio-economic development and socio-economic change. In other words, budget is a medium through which social and economic development of the country can be made. So budget is very important. So what is a budget? Budget means, etymologically, budget means it is derived from the French word budget, means a sack or a pouch from which Chancellor of Exchequer of Britain used to take out his paper for laying before the Parliament the government financial scheme for the next year or ensuing year. So budget means, etymologically or in words, budget means etymologically or in words, it has come from the French word budget. Budget means a sack, S-A-C-K, sack, or bag, or pouch, a small bag, from where the Chancellor of Exchequer of Britain brings paper to be submitted in Parliament, where financial scheme for the next year is mentioned. Again I am telling, budget means it has come from the French word budget. Budget means a leather bag or a sack or a pouch from where the Chancellor of Exchequer of Britain or the Finance Minister of Britain brings paper from the bag or sack or pouch and submits it in the Parliament, where financial scheme for the next year or ensuing year has been mentioned. And now budget refers to financial papers, certainly not to the sack. So budget means the financial paper for the next year is known as the budget. I think my viewers are clear what is the meaning of budget. But Indian Constitution defines Budget means it is the annual statement containing an estimate of all anticipated revenue and expenditure of government for the coming financial year. According to Indian Constitution, budget means an estimate of income and expenditure for the next year is known as the budget. And budget has many features. Budget has as many as 5 important features. The first important feature of the budget is that it is a statement of total income and expenditure of government in respect of previous financial year. The first element of the budget is that in the budget, the income and expenditure of the previous year have been mentioned. Number 2, it is a statement of expected revenue and proposed expenditure for the ensuing year or the next year. The second element of budget is that in the budget, the estimated income, the estimated revenue, anticipated revenue and proposed expenditure for the next year has been mentioned. Number 3, it requires some authority to sanction. Budget requires some authority to sanction it, legislature. Number 4, it is generally for 1 year. Number 5, it mentions procedures in which collection of revenue will be made and procedure how to make expenditure. In budget, it is mentioned the procedure, the method how revenue will be collected and the procedure how expenditure will have to be made. So you are clear about the meaning of budget. So again I am telling, budget means it has come from the French word budget, means a pouch or a sack from which the Chancellor of Exchequer of Britain brings paper to be submitted in the Parliament where financial scheme for the next year has been mentioned. So budget means the financial paper, not the leather bag or sack or pouch. And budget has 5 important features. The first important feature of the budget is that in budget, the income and expenditure of the previous year has been mentioned. The income and expenditure of the previous year have been mentioned. Number 2, in the budget, the income and expenditure of the next year or ensuing year must be mentioned. Number 3, budget must be approved. Budget must be approved by the authority. It must be sanctioned by the authority. Number 4, it must be for 1 year. And number 5, in budget it has been mentioned the procedure how revenues will be collected and the procedure how expenditure will have to be made. So you are clear about the meaning of budget, and Indian Constitution defines the budget as an estimated income and expenditure for the next financial year. So we are clear about the meaning of budget. Now discuss what significance budget has. The first significance of budget is that budget as a budget as a process. Budget as a process means from the budget it is clear what financial schemes of the government for the next year. Budget as a process means from the budget it will be clear what financial scheme of the government will be for the next year. Number 2, it is mentioned what community goals the government wants to achieve in the next year and why and how it will be achieved. In the budget, it has been mentioned what community goals, what objects government will have to achieve in the next year, how it will achieve and why it will be achieved. Number 3, primary goals are also mentioned and funds are allotted accordingly. Priority of goals are also mentioned and funds are allotted accordingly. In budget, the goals are arranged serially on the basis of their importance and accordingly funds have been sanctioned. Point 4, by budget people will be alert about the government programs beforehand and they will not have any confusion and misunderstanding. By the budget, people will be clear about the future government financial program and they will be allotted beforehand. So, the first significance of budget is that budget as a process. It means in the budget, government describes what it will have to achieve in future, why it will achieve and how it will achieve. And the government arranges goals priority wise, which is important first, which is important second, which is less important in third, like this. And government allots fund for different goals accordingly. And in the budget, the future financial plan of the government have been mentioned. By this, people will become alert and there will not be any confusion before the people. So budget gives this type of knowledge. So it is known as budget as a process. Number 2, budget as an instrument. Budget as an instrument means in the budget not only goals are mentioned but also how these goals will have to be implemented is mentioned. In budget, not only goals are mentioned, what will have to achieve in future, but also in budget, it is mentioned how a goal will have to be achieved, how a goal will have to be implemented. It means in budget, not only goals are mentioned, it is budget as an instrument. In budget, not only goals are mentioned, but also it is mentioned how a goal will have to be achieved, how goal will have to be implemented. It is mentioned how resources will be collected to achieve community goal. It is also mentioned how resources will be collected to achieve community goal. In order to implement goal, community goal are transferred to government program and those government programs fulfill community goals. So budget as an instrument means in budget not only goals are mentioned to be achieved but also it is mentioned how this goal will have to be achieved. So in budget, first of all, budget goals are transferred to government programs, then government programs will be carried on to achieve the budget goal. So in budget not only goals are prescribed but also it is mentioned how these goals will have to be achieved or implemented or executed. Number 3, budget as a management tool. Budget as a management tool means it is another significance of budget. Budget as a management tool means budget provides guidelines about which department will spend money and how it will spend or distribute money. In budget it is mentioned. Budget as a management tool means in budget it is mentioned which department will distribute money for the achievement of object and how it will distribute money. Budget provides the guideline by which it is known which department will spend money and how it will spend or distribute money. It provides the guideline how money will be spent, who will spend money. Finally, in brief, budget speaks how money will be spent. In brief, in budget it is mentioned how money is spent for the achievement of the goal. Finally, budget as an administrative tool. Budget as an administrative tool means it is another significance of budget. Budget as an administrative tool means in the budget it is clearly mentioned that for the achievement of community goal, which administrative persons and departments, subdivisions, financial experts must be involved. Budget as an administrative tool means in the budget it is mentioned which administrative persons will be involved, which departments will be involved, which subdivisions will be involved for the achievement of future goal. So in the budget, no doubt, it is mentioned what goals to be achieved, but it is also mentioned that for the achievement of those goals, which administrative persons will have to be involved, which department will have to be involved, which subdivision will have to be involved. Then financial experts must be involved. Which financial experts will have to be involved? It is clearly mentioned. The persons will be involved for the achievement of future goal. It is also mentioned that budget is a cooperative effort and it should be materialized by the overall direction of chief executive. In the budget, it is clearly mentioned that to achieve the object of budget is a cooperative effort. It is not a single man's effort. And all the work of the budget must be made under the patronage of the chief executive. So, in this video, we are clearly what is the meaning of budget and what are the significance of budget. I request my viewers to make best use of this video and try to be clear and watch this video attentively. Thank you. Give your comment. Till now, goodbye to all.